the things that I know. And try to wake people up and impart this knowledge to them. And find out that they just have walls built in front of them. They want to be slaves.
Now I risk sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's no longer a theory. What I'm about to say is fact. The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government.
Take a journey with me deep inside the rabbit hole. Wake up, my friends, there's some things that you have to know. Everything you ever thought you knew, it has to go. For instance, NASA is the world's largest magic show. 9/11 was a planned demolition and Sandy Hook was a scam. Come on, man, are you tripping? Constant programming being crammed in your vision. Just take a step back and examine this prison. Turn on the news and they're trying to blind you. All they ever do is tell you lies and divide you. There's nowhere you can even hide, they'll find you. Illuminati, all-seeing eye right behind you. It's about time you find out we're being lied to. They're attempting to control the mind that's inside you. Hide you from the power that designed you. Does anybody have a problem with this? Well, I do. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking and they got you jumping through these hoops, the lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking and they got you jumping through these hoops, the lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. They're lying to us about everything. How can this be? I know I'm not crazy, and yet I'm questioning my sanity. I see what the Illuminati's doing to humanity. The truth is stranger than fiction. We're living in a fantasy. What I'm witnessing is unreal. It's a one-way battle for us cattle going uphill. If we don't stand and fight now, then no one will. Our children will never know freedom. It's a done deal. The future's not looking so promising. It's the poor who go to war while the rich keep on profiting. It's us that they're slaughtering and money that they're honoring. And soon it's gonna be the new world order that they're offering. It's mind-boggling how so many don't seem aware. And if they are, it's like they really just don't even care. Our world is broken and I'm hoping it can be repaired. But we'll have to fight for it, so just be prepared. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking and they got you jumping through these hoops, the lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking and they got you jumping through these hoops, the lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof.
Forget the politicians. Politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking.
Oh, baby, we starting this thing or what? All right. So welcome, everybody, to the first ever live Google Hangout with the Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole crew that I am affectionately calling the Rabbit Hole Extras. It's something that we're going to hope to do every week. We do have special guests tonight, and in the future we will as well. But as always, you're joined by me, the moderator, your favorite star-traveling, cosmic exploring, psychedelic detective, Tim Rothschild, fellow Liberty man, David Weiss, truth seeker, leader of the conspiracy movement. In my opinion, at this point, he's a powerhouse, and he must be dealt with accordingly. And Mike Cannon is here to meet him in that space. Comedian Mike Cannon, one of my favorite people in all the world. And, you know, our special guest is ODD of ODD TV. He's the guy that was rapping that awesome song in the beginning that gets us all super pumped up. And he's also got his YouTube channel is ODD TV. He's got Flat Earth videos, a bunch of other videos on there. And Dave wanted him to be a part of the show tonight to be in his corner. So, again, welcome. David, we'll start with you. How you doing tonight? And let me know, please, what you hope to achieve this evening.
Well, thanks, Tim. Thanks for moderating this. You know, for those of you that don't know, Tim, Mike, and I do Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, and Mike doesn't believe anything that I present. You know, he believes that the big three were real events that we're just taken advantage of. He doesn't believe in the flat Earth, or he'll tell us his opinion on that. Maybe he's changed. I believe he has the ability to change. And we recently got into it over this recent NASA video or amateur rocket. I think it was a NASA video.
It was not a NASA video.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a video, but that's okay.
But it was fake, and we want to, you know, we're having an issue on the show where I really want to talk about flat Earth more, and we're not seeing eye to eye. So today we're going to review some things. I would like you to show us why you think it's real, and we'd like to show you why we don't think it's real.
Okay, and so in between while you two could talk, I'm always going to step in. That's going to be a rule that I put in here so that people aren't stepping on each other's toes, and we can kind of pass the ball through me. It'll get quicker and much faster as we go, but I just want to lay the foundation for that now, because things can get really fiery and hot on Rabbit Hole when I'm not mediating. But here I have no no points in any corner. I don't care. I'm here to specifically moderate. So Mike, give us a few seconds of what you hope to get out of tonight and what you have to say to start this off.
Well, first, I want to express how absolutely blown away I am at the fact that I've spent over 140 hours with Dave discussing these things, and he still has no idea what I believe or what I think about any of the events that he's presented. My opinions lie much in the gray area and not so much in the black and white as which David divides this world. Thank you, Tim.
Okay, that's fair. And so I also want to bring ODD TV on, man. Just want to say hello.
Yeah, sweatshirt off.
Well, I just thought my skin was getting pretty red. I thought about zipping it up, and I was like, people are going to think I have some kind of skin disease, so I'm taking it off for the rest of the show.
You do look flustered. I myself am wearing my debate formal wear. I even put on my glasses to look more serious.
No, I think everything you've done tonight is so far said to me that you are dead serious about what you're about to do.
I'm extremely serious.
So, ODD, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you hope to get out of the night. And also, thank you for joining us, man. It's really cool to see you, and we love using your intro song on Rabbit Hole.
Well, I guess he's off the show.
Okay, so when ODD comes back on, when he comes back on, we'll get him back on. This is something that we were dealing with earlier on too. So when he hops back on, we'll let him jump right in. So, but let's talk about it a little bit. Can you guys set the stage for me, David? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna flip a coin for this one. I'm gonna flip a tin of tobacco for this one. Which one wants heads? Which one wants tails? David?
I would like Mike to start.
Mike, do you have any?
Or we can just go through the video and take it from there.
I just want to set the stage real quick about how this thing started. So, Mike, do you want to tell your version of how this started?
Yeah, sure. All I did was ask a pretty harmless question, in my opinion. I didn't even say whether or not the video was fake or real, but people within this movement are very sensitive towards anybody who doesn't share their exact beliefs and don't mouth the exact same verbiage that they've picked up from YouTube videos over time. So the fact is, I suppose I am a ball earther for the simple fact that I don't, parrot dog shit. So my initial post, and this wasn't a NASA video, this was a UP Aerospace Inc., which I jokingly said I'm assuming is another name for NASA. But, I made fun of the fact that they sure have the best computer graphics that, people that money can buy. Several GoPro camera angles were in the video with a clear perspective of the launch, orbit, and re-entry, but somehow it's fake. I knew it was going to be considered fake by everybody because this is just what they do. They label everything as fake. However, what I was interested in was the logistics behind this, because thousands of hours, let's even ballpark it into the hundreds. Hundreds of hours of animation was spent just to make this YouTube video. So, and more, the joke I made, more people watch Bieber's Snapchat is morning shit, yet they're deciding to spend time and tons of money, because I worked for a design firm that did a lot of photoshopping and a lot of these type of videos, and it is not fucking cheap. So they're spending a ton of money on this one quote-unquote animation to keep the flat earth deception going. It just seems like a lot of wasted time, money, and energy to me. So that's what I was posing initially.
Okay, very cool. And ODD, let's let you jump in real quick and just, you froze before, so let us know exactly, why you're here. I just wanted to thank you again for coming on. We love your show, your song in the beginning, Rabbit Hole, and let us know what your hopes are for the night.
Thank you. I feel like, I keep freezing up. I hope I'm not freezing right now.
Oh, you're good.
Truth seeker for 7-8 years. Started a YouTube channel last year. Wasn't aware of the flat Earth, none of the space stuff. Just went with the whole. I knew about the secret societies, media brainwash, Hollywood brainwash, stuff like that. And I got on board with a lot of that stuff. And the more I went with it, I eventually found the flat Earth. Didn't believe it. Studied it for 10 months. Finally started to understand a few of the things that were holding me back, like the sun. And where, for it to be light and dark on a flat Earth at the same time was one of my biggest problems. So I overcame that, and now I'm doing a lot of flat Earth research, and I'm 100% firm believer that NASA's lying to us about everything, and GoPro cameras they're deceiving us, but they're not quite lying.
All right, and why are you on the show tonight?
I was invited by David from Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. We've been talking a lot lately and corresponding because we have the same kind of material. So I agreed to come on the show.
Awesome,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped that you're here because I really do. I love that show, and I'd love to have you in Dave's corner. This is very cool. So I guess we're going to start off with
9 o'clock.
What's that?
It's 9:11 o'clock.
Yeah, perfect. So, David, we're going to let you respond to Mike's intro, and if you have a response, if not, we can go ahead and get started. David, you're muted.
Yeah, I got it. Mike's views are very unclear to me, but if you listen to the opening of our show every week, there's a clip basically is what I hear from him, just screaming that it's all bullshit. He even said it today. So, this video is so clearly fake, and I think that we can show it as fake. So I can share the screen and we can go through it. And Mike, why don't you tell us what you're seeing, or?
But I'm just, without even breaking down the video, why not actually acknowledge the question I'm asking? Why spend the time and the money on such an extravagant video that didn't get a lot of views? It probably has in the million, like a million now, but it did at the time have probably 400,000 or 450,000. Like, why do that?
Yeah, so my answer to that is I don't believe it cost that much money, but let's say it cost $100 million. Do you spend $100 million to get how much ODD? How much does NASA get every year? Is it 20 million, 80 million?
18 billion.
18 billion. Sorry, yeah, on average, just for starters.
All right. Well, I'm going to have my off-camera correspondent check that number, so I'll be back to you with that. But go ahead.
Okay.
And just so you guys know, normally I want to be the moderator between when you guys are talking. I'm going to let a little bit go back and forth, obviously, but if it starts to step on each other's toes, I'm going to step in flat out. So keep going.
Okay. So there's my answer. I don't believe that. There's a big reason. The reason that they're hiding the flat Earth from us is, as I've gone over on Rabbit Hole, is to hide us from who we truly are, to make us think that we're prisoners on this planet, to make us think that we're insignificant and not realize our own power. Because once people wake up to the flat Earth, they will disconnect from the system, and they will claim their own freedom, and the power structure will lose control. That's my belief. There's people out there that don't believe that.
Okay, Mike, your response? Sorry, I was typing in the group chat. If someone needs to jump in, raise their hand or get my attention so I can move it over to you quickly. This is step one of many, many weeks of us doing this, so there's going to be a little bit of bumpiness while we get our bearings. Sorry, Mike.
I'm pretty casual. This thing started off extremely formal, and as a guy wearing the only bow tie here, I don't really understand why. But I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. The thing is, when you're talking about the flat Earth and the globe, and you say that there is no evidence that there is a globe, there is evidence in the sense that there are pictures of the globe. So whether or not those are fake, where is the picture of a flat Earth? At least I'm being supplied with a version of one side of the story, whereas the other side is telling me that I have to make several leaps and imaginative, connect the dots to see what they're saying.
David?
OD, did you have a good picture, a set of pictures of the globe? The set of all 6 or 8 of them. I'm looking for it real quick.
Yeah, I do.
If you could open it and screen share it, or whoever finds it first.
And their budget's like millions.
You know what? Even better, your video from today, where you show the picture that that was a NASA picture. You said in the video that it was released in 2015, but is it just a picture that was released in 2015? When was that picture taken?
It was in October 12th, 2015.
Okay.
I'm trying to share this picture. It's on my screen, but it's not showing up.
So hold on. Can you guys
how do I share?
Did you go? Yeah, I see it here, but for some reason.
I'm gonna try again. Hold on. Screen share right here. There we go. Okay, so these are all of them are admitted to be fake, except for the first one, which is what the Apollo shot, where they claim it's real.
Mike, do you see a problem with these pictures?
What? I didn't see pictures. I can't see them. I mean, you've shown me these before. Like, I don't know, but that's not acknowledging what I just said.
I think you have to share it yourself. I'm sharing it. I think you're looking at it
now. Yeah, I see these pictures, sure.
Okay, so if you look on the one that's the bottom row, third from the left, if you look at the size of the United States and compare it to any other one, you know, how can that be real? How can that be real? It's over twice the size.
I mean, I don't know. I also don't know the source of these pictures. Like, you're telling me from NASA, but I'm just looking at them from your computer.
So you're gonna have to trust us that okay, no. But you can just discredit everything that we say because we say it's from NASA. These are from NASA. Prove us wrong.
Well, okay? The onus isn't on me, though. What I'm asking...
Okay, I can prove to you these are from NASA.
That's fine. Okay. I don't care, though. But my entire question was that at least this exists. Even if this is a fucking crayon drawing, I don't care. It still is a representation of the Earth. However, I've never seen even a, like, computer mock-up as reasonable as some of the pictures that we've gotten, not to mention the live feed that I showed you, I think 2 weeks ago, which is what you've been... calling for a couple months on the show now, but that was of course fake. But it doesn't matter what I show.
So you're talking about the live feed from the ISS, correct?
From Reddit, yeah, the thing we found on Reddit.
Yeah, so there's a show that's on every week that does 3 to 4 hours on that live feed, and you know, you can watch that and you can see how it's literally just a conveyor belt. Everything is wrong with that live feed if you look at it critically.
But I think I'd rather watch that on the live feed personally than watch a show.
No, the show watches the live feed and talks about what they're seeing critically rather than just believing that cartoon that you're watching is real.
So let me jump in real quick here, guys. David, is there anything that you can present that they present during that show that will help Mike understand the point without you directing him to have to go watch the show to understand that? Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in the mud here.
So one of the things that they show is they basically the International Space Station is falling at 17,500 miles an hour and just keeps missing the Earth, and it's in that perfect fall speed and height where it's going around the Earth. But if you look at how everything is coming towards you, the stuff in the far left corner, the stuff in the far center right corner, and the stuff right underneath you is all moving at the same speed. And that's not how things in the distance work. Things in the distance move slower, and they speed up as they come towards you. If you're ever in an airplane or you can see that's how things move. But what this is showing you that it's a very small scale model. It's probably a couple yards long, maybe 20 yards long, 10 yards long. I'm not sure, but it's small. And none of it lines up. They can never show us more than 20 minutes of uninterrupted feed. If NASA was really in space, how come they don't turn the Hubble around and look at Earth? How come they don't have a camera on the moon watching the Earth spin? There's no video of the Earth spinning. I could go on and on, but
this still didn't necessarily even acknowledge what I was saying. So what do you get then outside? Is the reason that we don't have a picture of the flat Earth because there is no space? Like, I don't understand why then we don't have any physical representation of what you're talking about.
There's video of high altitude balloons because you can't get, the higher up you go, you can only see so far. Light only goes so far. and there are high altitude balloons that show a flat horizon.
There are also ones that show a curved horizon.
No, there aren't. There aren't. Those are.
What, Dave, come on. We've knocked this back and forth a bunch of times. There are definitely ones that show it. You just always say that it's a concave lens, which is so easy because it's just refuting with anything. You can refute anything. There's no point to even have evidence against it.
Mike, does this is the video in question. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, let's take a look at the video so everyone can see.
Yeah. So
how long is it?
It's just a couple minutes, but I'm going to keep stopping it. So this is the video. You guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
So just so you know, Mike,
you can release the video.
Pause it real quick, David. So Mike, because David has the option to pause it and go through it as well. If you need to stop something, raise your hand real quick or jump in and say you need to say something. All right, brother?
Just say stop because I can't see you guys when I'm playing the video.
Gotcha. Stop.
All right. So everyone knows GoPro has what's called a fisheye lens. That's why the Earth looks convex right here. If you look at the horizon from the ground, it's curved upwards.
First of all, that's not a default lens that it comes with. That is an option, like every camera.
Okay, so you tell me when they're using a regular lens, Mike.
Okay.
So hold on, pause. Is that a regular lens?
Concave.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, if we find a space launch before 2002, because that's when GoPro was founded. Wait, what? Sorry, my off-camera contributor is getting mouthy.
So here we go. So it's taking off, and you can still see the landing pad. They're showing us a whole bunch of different angles.
Right. So at what point is it fake? Like when does it, or is the whole thing?
I think this part is real. ODD, what do you think here?
I'm approaching the whole video like it's real.
Okay. And what was that? My question is, what is this coming up? Right, what is that?
What is what?
they just put in.
It looks like the camera went inside the rocket to the other side.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, this thing stops abruptly. It's negative 354 degrees outside. Okay. NASA says the North Pole, the poles on Mars are negative 250. Okay. So somehow, when we could still see mountain ranges, it's negative 354 degrees. Let's go a little farther. And now look how high it is. You can see land features. And now watch. Oh, the rocket had already stopped, and now all of a sudden it's at this height, and we see a ball Earth, supposedly.
Okay.
Okay. How did it get up that high?
By keeping going.
All right. So after the rocket,
somebody mentioned this the other day. They were talking about an uninterrupted feed, and it would be for all of those cameras close to 60 hours of footage, I guess.
The whole flight took maybe less than a minute. So if you have 60 cameras, which you don't, it would take 1 hour.
No, the whole thing takes 3 minutes and 21 seconds. That's the thing. What are you talking about?
You're saying it would take like 60 hours. I'm wondering where your math is coming from.
No,
because
each camera from going out into space and then coming back, 60 hours is clearly me being a dickhead. I have no idea, but it would certainly be in the hours of uninterrupted if you're talking about each camera going from the blast off all the way up, out into space, and then the re-entry into our atmosphere, the fall, and then going into wherever the fuck it went into.
So I would like you to watch this part. Watch this part. The rocket's going up, and then all of a sudden, it stops. Okay? It stops, and it's not going up anymore. Now all of a sudden it's up there. But watch the horizon.
Wait, where did it stop? I missed the stop. I didn't see the stop.
It was. Tim, did you see it?
Well, I mean, I saw the whole screen shift. It looks as though the rocket starts changing its approach. Something shifts. I don't know what it is.
It's rapidly spinning. It's moving fast, and then all of a sudden, boom.
The yo-yo went off. There's a yo-yo technology thing that goes around inside, and it slingshots and it stops it like that. their patented technology in these rockets, so it's able to do that.
Cool.
Okay. So how does it get from that height? How does it get from that lower height where we can see the ground to all of a sudden outer space? You think they just edited out a bunch of stuff?
Is that something that they do?
They could easily. I'll even say that they do. Sure, they edited it out, and it got up to twice the height, maybe 3 times the height, but they want to leave all that out. Now it's negative 442 degrees. Okay, I don't know how computers or cameras work at that temperature. And then we get these pretty lights. So my next one, oh, now we're back down low again. And look, there that was the ball Earth, okay?
Right.
So there it is. There's the curvature of the Earth. That proves it. Now, my first question is, this is all land. This is all land. What land?
That's clouds. What are you talking about? That's not land. Are you out of your mind?
All right,
Land.
this is clouds. This is clouds.
There's water right there.
And there's water.
That's a cloud right here.
There's a bunch of clouds overlaying the land for sure. Yeah, that's why it's all messy. And
Okay.
there's perspiration. What are you out of your mind?
This is showing like one state only. It's not even leaving the state. That's how curved the GoPro lens is.
Dude, Dave, that would be so funny if you just believed in flat Earth because you've been colorblind this entire time.
All right, so that's clouds, right, Mike?
What? No, there's definitely some land there. Yeah, sure.
Is this land over here?
Is what land?
Is it to the left of the rocket? You can see my mouse?
I would assume so. I don't know.
Okay, is this land over here?
I would assume so. I don't know.
Okay, what landmass covers this much of a ball Earth?
But look at it, dude. A lot of it doesn't even look like land. Like, a lot of it tapers off and clearly looks like clouds. Like, there are clouds that are up real high in the atmosphere. There are clouds that are down real low. It's
Okay.
with a textured look. Like, that's
Okay.
what it looks
Okay,
like.
so you believe in brown clouds. It's fine. But now, it's amazing. How did they do this? What part of the rocket went off and could now see this? And it's just floating there, and it separates. How does that happen?
Well, clearly a part of the rocket came off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while you're looking at the rocket, did you notice anything that's happening with the horizon?
Yeah. It looks flat, I guess, at that point because it's a small.
Well, hold on.
Concave.
Now it's concave.
Sure. I mean, it's probably moving pretty fast and tough for the lens to catch up. Like,
Oh,
that's
this is what it's doing when it goes.
and
If
curved.
you say that the lens is corrupt from the get-go, and that it's not corrupt.
Yeah, and well, whatever.
So let me hear. I'm curious to hear what ODD has to say because he sounds like he knows a little bit more about this.
Go ahead,
than
man.
everyone else.
Well, the GoPro lens is only in the middle is when it's balanced, and you'll see the true camera how it works with the real horizon, which will be flat in the middle of the GoPro lens. But in this video, the curve that it shows is because of the GoPro lens, and the curve it gives it concave when it's on the other side of the GoPro lens. So that just shows you that we're not working with it. It would all be flat without this GoPro curved lens, fisheye lens.
So also now look at the altitude that they're at. Those are brown clouds, so maybe we're very high. But you could see the rocket below it. I mean, how does that happen? This is what they say is proof of the Earth. We have brown clouds everywhere, so maybe there's no land below there. And
from convex to concave.
yep, and there it is, flat in the middle.
Okay, but like, why then, if the entire video is fake, would they do that?
Well, I'm going to let ODD answer it because I already answered it and you didn't hear me. But here's are these clouds? These are clouds up here with shadows below them on the Earth. And if you extend this circle all the way around, what landmass is that big on the Earth?
I don't know. I don't know where that is.
Because it's nowhere. It's Arizona is where it is.
And that's all it is. That's all it's showing is Arizona. It's not even leaving the state. That it's curving it. It's curving it into a ball. That's what the lens does.
So if
It does
this
it to everything.
video, why would they only? That doesn't make any sense.
It's
Yes.
a GoPro video.
This is a real video. I'm approaching this like this is real, and I have a few things that I'll be showing you guys here shortly. But it's definitely only curved due to the fisheye lens.
Okay.
Right, and the part where the rocket separates, I don't believe that's real. And that's the end of that video.
So I have a question that maybe we can keep on deck for later, because I've heard you, Dave, say that space isn't what we think it is. I've got two questions just about why NASA would be using this kind of a lens, and then also, about whether or not space is real, that sort of thing.
NASA's not using a lens. This is a GoPro ad, and are they in cahoots with NASA? I don't know. I mean, there's all sorts of videos out there and news stories and missions to Mars to make us believe in this heliocentric universe.
Okay, we don't need to go any further. I just want to keep those on deck. All right, where are we going next with this?
Let me run some stuff. I'm going to share my screen. I think, David, if you'll share the whole thing. I'm going to run a little tiny presentation that I made knowing that we are going to be watching this video.
All right, so real quick, Mike, is there anything that you want to say before we jump into the next round of this?
Yeah, this guy Neil Williams in the chat is a full sociopath. He's getting so angry. Meanwhile, I just have a different opinion than people. I'm in no danger of altering fucking anything in the entire world. And these guys are like so ass hurt that I have no fucking, that I just don't agree with them. It's hilarious.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Let me just say something to people in the chat. Don't be upset at Mike. He's here to learn, okay?
I'm not here to learn. I'm here to make fun of all this shit. I'm a comic. I don't fucking care if everyone in the chat drinks cyanide tonight and shits blood on their just-born infant.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. All right, ODD, go ahead. Play away.
All right, you got me on the screen share?
I think so. Can everybody see that on full screen?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You got it?
It's in the chat. I mean, it's in the.
I'm seeing you, Dave.
You're seeing me.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay, so we're starting. This is the first scene from that video. Okay, immediately you see that it's curved upward in a convex shape. You go to 148, shows the round Earth. 157, concave Earth. Okay, this is what a GoPro lens looks like. It's curved like that. So let me. I gotta share. I got some other stuff in here that I have to change over to. I'm just gonna go straight to this video right here, which you could make stuff turn into a ball from the ground that you're standing on if you have one of these cameras. So let me see, right here. You got that screen?
Yeah. I see it.
This is what the GoPro lens does. You could turn the Earth into a ball from the ground. You could walk up. Look, he's gonna walk up to this car and turn the car into a spherical car just by putting the lens over it. Like, this is what the lens does. This is why the Earth looks round when there's a GoPro lens, period. It's the whole Earth. Look, that's how big the Earth is according to this guy standing on his feet. Right? Okay. So, and let's look at one more video that I had wanted to show you guys. It's basically, if you have a GoPro lens and you work with them often, there's videos that will show you how to correct them. See, this guy's like, okay, I got too much curve. This isn't the real curve. He's going to flatten it out into the true look of what it actually looks like just by using a default preset that resets the exact GoPro 3 Hero that he has. He used the GoPro 3 Hero setting, and it changed it to exactly what it would look like without that lens, if you see what I'm saying. So those are just a couple things that I had prepared. I mean, it's that simple. You could get a GoPro, and it's going to show you the curve immediately. No, there's no denying it.
Mike, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't want to drive my head through a fucking wall more than just sit here and dissect more video.
All right.
Well,
you guys want to keep moving on with the presentation? Let everybody that's listening at least get the information.
But of course, like a fisheye lens. Okay, I mean, but that didn't prove anything. That's cool.
Yes, it did. It proved. I could show. There's tons of videos with no fisheye lens. When it does not have a wide-angle fisheye lens, it is flat, and that's all there is to it. So how could you say that the
I
fisheye
know
lens
the
is
fisheye lens exists. I've shot videos before. Like, I'm very well aware of this capability. It doesn't give any proof to the world. You're just saying that a lens exists. Cool.
No, the lens is what turns it to a ball.
Perhaps,
You're not accepting that. So it turns it into a ball. Without that lens, no ball.
But there was also somebody that just
let me ask this question.
Comments that said that you guys don't know how fisheye lenses work. So, I mean, it could be interesting to get kind of an expert on the matter to discuss it with us. But, I mean,
I know how fisheye lenses work. They could talk all they want. You don't have to believe me. If you studied it on your own, you would see that what I'm saying is true. I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think. I want you to maybe take what I say and look into it further, but it doesn't seem like you are. I feel like this show is kind of strange why we're even doing it in the first place if you just don't give a fuck whatsoever and you're never going to change your mind, which you already made clear.
I'm discussing it with you and asking reasonable questions that any human being would answer. The fact that you're getting flustered and
you're denying everything we're saying.
Line of questioning just shows your lack of preparedness on the subject. If you
I take my work seriously. I'm trying to spread the word about this very real conspiracy.
I know. Well, show me.
Let me jump in here. I'm going to take over as moderator. I let that go a little bit long just because it was fun to watch. But so I have a question because I get that both of you guys are heated about it. But if you have a globe Earth and you use a camera like that on it, is that what effect is that going to have? Can it have a similar effect to what we see, or does it have to just be flat?
Well, the
only thing there is to that is that if you're not using a wide-angle lens or a fisheye lens, it is indeed the horizon rises up to the eye level of the lens, right, and it's flat. So even Neil deGrasse Tyson says this on record. You can't get high enough to see the curve. Another thing I wanted to bring up is about how that fisheye lens is showing that effect, but the ISS, listen to this, the ISS is 400,000 meters high. Okay, that's roughly 250 miles. That GoPro rocket reached 120,000 meters, which is roughly 75 miles. Mm-hmm. The ISS shows less curvature than that video, and it's way higher. Okay. So, I mean, there's a bunch of contradictions everywhere, and I think it's flat, and I think the ISS is a totally CGI kind of scam thing. Can't prove it. I wish I could, but I know that they only broadcast for 45 minutes out of the hour, and they don't have a camera on the moon showing us our Earth spinning 24 hours, which they totally would in 2016 if we went to the moon in 1969.
Yeah, I think those are all fair points, and I don't think that we necessarily need Mike to turn to any sort of side on that. You know what I mean? I think everybody listening here is okay, and they can make the decision up for themselves.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
So Dave thinks it's fake. You think it's a real video. Where exactly do you two meet as somebody? I mean, you have the same idea that the Earth is flat. Dave thinks it's CGI. You think it's real. So how do you then talk to each other about what the actual situation is?
No. It's a real rocket launch. I believe that the separating of the rocket is CGI. We can argue that all day, but it really doesn't matter. The fact is,
It does matter, though.
Just that part. Whether that one part is CGI or not doesn't matter. We proved with the fisheye that it's not. We're not seeing the curve of the Earth. And just jumping back a little bit, I just want everyone to see this. I won't play the whole thing, Mike. It's 4 minutes, and I know that would kill you. But this is a shot of the Earth from a while ago where they when you put it in Photoshop and adjust the levels, you can see that it was pasted in. But recently, a new shot of Earth came. ODD, when was this one?
2015, October.
Yeah, this is from NASA. This is the LROC. You can find this whole video, anybody, on ODD TV's YouTube channel. But when he goes in and changes the levels, let me just jump forward. You can see that this is clearly inserted. Anybody that knows Photoshop or even not, you can see that that was inserted. Okay? And that's a crappy job. It doesn't take millions of dollars. I can do that probably while this show is on in under 5 minutes.
I challenge you for it.
I've done it already, Mike. You've seen. I posted pictures. I put the ISS up above a ball Earth. It takes minutes.
Okay.
So And they're doing a crappy job. Why are they doing such a crappy job? I don't know. Maybe just they don't care. That's a great question. Maybe they just don't care anymore.
That seems weird. Why would that be? Their budget also has been dropping since 1992, pretty increasingly. They do have $18 billion this year for sure, which is a lot of money. But also the cost of rockets is most likely going up, as well as gas, etc. But like, why then would they drop funding to the program if this is going to continue to be a deception? Or do you think this is their way of kind of like methadoning us into like off of the high of round Earth, and then they're going to eventually come out with flat, and something is going to happen?
ODD, what do you want to answer that? Oh, you're muted. Yeah,
Whoops.
there you go.
There we go.
There you go. You're good.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
What? Mike, ask the question again.
Quick question, yeah. Just break it down into a faster version. I'll answer it.
Hold on. Sorry. I don't even remember what my question was. What was it?
Was it they have $18 billion a year and it's been slowly
declining?
declining?
So that was my question. Thank you. It was that their budget has been dropping every year with the cost of building rockets going up. Gas prices have obviously dropped, so I guess that can't be part of the argument anymore. Person in the chat. So why would they be defunding this thing that's part of the biggest conspiracy ever, yet they're losing money? Like, are they trying to taper us off of the belief of the ball Earth, and like then like boom bam give us a flatty and like, you know, incarcerate us mentally? Or what are they doing? Like, why would that be a thing?
Sometimes I think that this is being released somehow, even though it's the truth. But I can only speculate. But also, okay, so listen, the thing about the NASA program, they go before a board of directors, they go before government congressional hearings and whatnot to ask for more funding. And sometimes the people there are very firm and they want to know what the hell they're doing and why they want the funding. And I've seen them debate on TV live about it. So NASA is fooling most government places, or most governmental agencies as well. And so NASA just keeps on. You pop up with this idea, you serve people images, and you get a lot of money. That's what they've learned. That's what the Japanese, the Chinese, the Canadians, everybody's popping up with their space programs so they could make money, and that's all there is to it.
But why? Where do they get the money from then? If the government is turning them down, which is the
they're not turning them down, obviously.
Directly, where are they getting the money?
There's money in the
our taxes are paying for it.
No, I know, but that's also funneled through the government, but we just said that the government is defunding them by billions a year.
They still fund them, though. Give me $18 billion, and I could show you a live 24-hour footage of the moon with Michael Jackson and Elvis hanging out. Like,
sure, but they still have to build even if this is fake, they still have to build physical replicas or even rockets that work, just to continue the conspiracy, right? So this money is certainly going towards materials. It's not just lining some guy named Rob NASA who's like making fucking YouTube videos in his mom's basement.
Well, if that's all you got to do is build a rocket that flies off and goes over into the ocean, then it's nothing more than making a big empty firework.
Is it not? I've watched October Sky. Those kids went through hell.
Boom. All right. All right, I'm taking over.
So Mike, the $18 billion, they're not sending rockets into space. They're sending, tin cans filled with hydrogen over the southern oceans where they ditch them, and that's it. Nothing goes into space.
But then how do they land? Like, they have to land them, too, so they're recouping them, right?
No, they crash them or they destroy. We're not sure what they do with them. Maybe they recoup them, but they go out into the southern oceans, into the restricted water area. There's no GPS out there. There's no people out there. Maybe they just sink them. Who knows?
Can I ask you, so these other, subsidiary companies, this UP, Astro, whatever the fuck this video was, because it wasn't NASA, that's just like a smoke and mirrors, like they're still NASA, but they named them something else? Like, what is that?
ODD?
NASA and other space programs are connected in some way, because when you look at all the symbolism from around all the space programs, they share the vector symbol. So it seems like they're connected in a more sinister way type of conspiracy, but honestly, I have no proof, and I just speculate on that stuff. So
that's fair. We don't need to slam anything home. It's all information. What else do you guys have to present?
I had a question about the magnetism.
Go for it.
So, because that's the thing, right? There's no gravity, it's magnetism. Am I getting that right?
There's there's electromagnetism. You know, if you think about it, you know, maglev trains defy electromagnetism. They're not defying gravity. You know, gravity is just a word that scientists use to describe everything.
Right. I mean, so that doesn't even matter because the word is almost innocuous. It really doesn't matter. But the math for gravity, like, still works out. Do you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't work out. The moon actually has to be hollow.
Wait, hold on. Dave, let him at least, you've got your side. You can do it in a second. Let Mike say what he has to say about the math.
Because the math does work out. There are jobs that are predicated on the math, like, every day. So it has to check every single day. There are pilots. There are people that it's not boat conductors, but, you know, boat captains, people that boat. Even if the people are indoctrinated into thinking the Earth is round, it still doesn't change the fact that they're using those mathematic principles to do their jobs, right? So it still works out. Whether or not it's called gravity, it doesn't matter.
What do you think, Dave?
I mean, you can make things, you know, electromagnetism pulls things down, so does gravity. So you can call them the same things. You could make the predictions on them, but gravity in itself just does not work. You know, if you get into the whole moon going around the Earth and the Earth going around the sun, doesn't make any sense. Gravity is ridiculous as an explanation.
Okay, Mike, do you have a comeback? You know, what would be nice here, this would be, you know, if you could take a look at some sort of a case study. You know, what I've learned in my studies personally is that there are meeting points for a lot of this stuff, but I don't want to make this anything of DITRH. This is more of me moderating at this point. So I'm okay with that. We don't need to slam anything home. ODD, you want to add anything in?
Yeah, gravity it doesn't make sense. It pushes, it pulls.
All right, Mike, go ahead and just
keeps,
mute,
you know.
if you can mute your thing.
No, I was just laughing. That's just a funny thing to say. I'm sorry. I was laughing.
Go ahead, ODD.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. Gravity does not make sense. How could it hold down all the stuff that it holds down, and then it you know, lets tiny bugs and birds fly and do all sorts of stuff? I mean, it doesn't make sense all the way around. Okay,
well,
electromagnetic.
Their lack of mass and the amount of force that they that they dictate with their wings, like, that's crazy. It works out.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, trillions of gallons of water are being held to the Earth, but, you know, other things can go up. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
What?
It's true.
Yeah. And Mike,
He's gonna skip
Mike.
everything I
So,
know.
well, no, I'm just gonna just give me 30 seconds here. The heliocentrists believe that the gravity holds the atmosphere onto the Earth and it spins with the Earth. That's what you believe.
Dude, I'm asking you that you're saying everything that's airborne disproves gravity?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Let me jump in real quick. So it sounds like you, Dave, you are investigating relationships differently than what they have with gravity. You know, there's a different combination of relationships. Can you speak a little bit more to what these relationships are? Because we are seeing things flying, but, you know, Mike is asking you to go a little bit deeper. Is that right?
Yeah, I want Dave to dig deep.
Gravity is a long conversation. I mean, you can't go into a lab and prove gravity. You can't make something have gravitational effect. You can't make something defy gravity, but, you know, you can't create gravity. You can't, you know, the gravitron has never been seen. It's just a theory. But you can go into a lab and do repeatable experiments with electromagnetism.
Scientific evidence.
Or density and buoyancy. That's all it is.
It's the simplest answer.
So yeah,
different
different
you're stuck on the Earth because you weigh 130 pounds. That's why you're on Earth still.
I'm 181, baby. Don't you dare call me that light.
So you guys are talking about different relationships that produce the same result. You're looking at it differently.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. If there's no gravity, how are pounds measured in the first place?
Electromagnetism.
Oh. All right, forget it. Forget I even asked.
Okay.
I know. I want you to know that. I hope you're having a good time.
The problem with these concepts of learning about the flat Earth and the ball Earth is it takes time. You have to look into it. You have to take it seriously. You have to really look into it, and it takes more than 144 characters. So, you cannot really come up with an opinion on either. There's so many ball Earthers out there that don't even know what they're arguing, and I was one of them. I never really argued it. I just believed it until I looked at it and I was like, wow, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay. Do we have a next thing that you can present, David, before we lose Mike?
I'm good. If there's any questions in the chat, I mean, I haven't been watching the chat or.
No, they're just vague threats from virgins.
Okay. So
it's just people who've never had sex in their entire lives arguing with me over flat Earth. It's super fun to watch.
Okay, so instead of that, if there actually are any real questions in the chat, feel free to spit them out right now, and then we'll.
Oh, I have a question. I have a question from our wall. Can I ask that? You're not about to lose me. I'm having a great time.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, of course. I could do this literally for 4 more days.
Yeah. Well, that's not gonna
So somebody on our Facebook. This is their question, chat room, not mine. So point your fucking homophobic remarks toward that person. So they said, so Dave, are you saying the moon is a construct of something other than celestial design? Are all the other planets flat too, or are those made up by NASA? If not, why is Earth the only flat planet in our solar system? Are we that crazy, weird anomaly that we just happen to form flat? Or are we on a ship designed to trick us?
So I'll answer that quick, and then I'll let ODD continue on with it. The planets that NASA shows us are just drawings. We can only, when you look through a telescope, you see a light in the sky. You don't even know if it's a sphere. It's round. It appears to be round, but we don't know if it's a sphere. You'd have to look at it from 2 angles to see if it was a sphere. They're light. They're close, and the Earth is not a planet. It was called a planete, and they shortened it for planet. And the moon is close. We don't know. I don't know what it is. I really don't. But it's not a rock flying above our heads. Okay. You want to add a little bit to that?
Yeah, I just think we assume that every other celestial body is a sphere, but we've never seen the other side of the moon, for instance. Like, you've never seen the other side of the moon. So how could you? It could be like a half sphere, and it could be hollow on the other side. You never know. I mean, it's just strange. It's not that I think that. It's that you can't just assume by seeing a circle of light, especially when the light is so perfectly lit all the way across the entire thing. And yeah, we've been compared to other planets, but we are a planate, which is we're a flat surface, and everything orbits around us. We don't move at all, and everything else moves around. So with that kind of logic, you would say, well, then why is there no life on other planets? Because there's life here, so there has to be life on every single other planet there is, but that's just simply not the case.
Hey, let me just add one more thing to that. The fact that, ball earthers or heliocentrists believe that the moon is falling around the Earth and it's rotating once every 24 hours perfectly, so it never shows us anything but the one side that we always see. And how would you explain that? Or you just can't? You just don't know.
So my off-camera contributor says it's not one side. You see the landscape of the moon change quite regularly.
Never once.
Never once.
Never once. Okay.
Never once in the history that you've been alive, guaranteed.
Like this honestly isn't really a conversation, because you just snapped at me before about being stuck in my beliefs, and then
no, Mike, have you looked into it? Have you looked into it? Can you show us pictures?
It's hilarious.
All right.
All right. Let me step in real quick. So we got a bunch of questions in the chat group. None of them are really legit, except for we got round shadow on the moon. Did you guys address that while I was reading it? Why is there a round shadow on the moon?
So, ODD, you answered it. I got to pull up a picture.
Okay. Well, my theory is I go off of one of the old maps that I've been studying, and there's a third celestial body in the middle between the moon and the sun. And every once in a while, when it's just in the right spot, it shows that roundness or that kind of round shadow on the moon. But still, that's a theory. Like, again, this whole thing is a conspiracy being hidden from us. So you can't just ask a flat earther a question, and if they don't have the answer, then they're wrong. That's just not how it works. We're definitely not being eclipsed with our Earth on the moon, because there's been many instances when the sun and the moon are out at the exact same time, and you could see them both yourself. So the moon, it doesn't have any bearing with the Earth causing that shadow, I don't believe.
Mike? Isn't there a way? I mean, just with the Earth.
I didn't get, like, the first part of that was completely legit. I was on board. I didn't get how you jump from A to B. I'm just asking for.
So here, let me show you what you believe. So you guys can see this picture. This is a scale representation of the Earth and the Moon. Okay, so how is this gonna put a curved shadow on that? You can't do it. It's like having a baseball on one end of a football field and a baseball on the other.
Why put a curved shadow on that, especially if you're a globe? Like, that makes complete sense. If you're covering part of the sun, like, of course you would put a curved shadow on that.
And you think that curve would show up on the moon?
Yeah.
At that distance. If you look into the whole Earth, Moon, Sun, the eclipses and whatnot, we're supposed to believe that when there's a total lunar eclipse, that's when the sun or the Earth blocks the sun of the moon, that the moon goes into the shadow of the Earth and turns red. Okay? That doesn't make any sense at all. It should be black. You shouldn't see it at all. But it goes into the shadow of the Earth.
But isn't there
turns red?
Reasoning behind that? That's a blood eclipse that you're talking about, right?
I'm talking about the blood moon. Yeah. How does that happen?
So I don't know. I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
There's also many instances where there's a crescent moon, and where the moon is supposed to be, you can see planets and stars behind it, or perhaps in front of it, but you can see them.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just all of this is super speculation. Like, I don't know.
It's not speculation. It's research, and there's images.
Oh, it's cool. And, like, I love that it's a component of this, but it still doesn't, like, draw me any closer. And I'm honestly trying. Like, I'm genuinely I know you think I'm trolling because I just have a completely different opinion than you, but I'm not. I'm not even stuck in my opinion. If you showed me a flat Earth right now, I would embrace it. Why would I? It wouldn't really change much of my life. I would still operate my day-to-day existence quite the same. I don't believe in God. I know that you leapt from the flat Earth to believing in God, and that more power to you, dude. I have no negative feelings towards that at all. However, I've gone through my own spiritual experience where I've found a different enlightenment, so to speak. The people in the chat might beg to differ, but the shape of the Earth is not necessarily even in my fucking top 1 million priorities.
It was meant to be like that, man. You were conditioned to be like that.
Okay, I guess. I mean, you can certainly say that, but you have no
idea
all
were.
Who I am. But you have no idea who I am and what my conditioning priorities are.
All of us have been conditioned to believe this Earth, and also not to care when it comes up. We laugh at the flat Earth.
That also puts you in a spot of enlightened overlord, as if you have this key to the universe that nobody else has. And that's a pretty weird.
No, not at all. Not at all. You're just really ignorant, and I'm trying to explain some stuff to you. It's coming up. With all the measurements.
You're just ignorant.
You're very ignorant. You've been showing your ignorance the whole show, bro. That's all there is to it.
Everybody step in real quick. Just, it's getting out of control. So, is there anything that you guys? Hey, Mike, chill out. Is there anything that you guys want to present next?
Super ignorant, dude. You're very ignorant. I don't know why the fuck I'm on this show right now talking to you.
Write a rap about it, dog.
Literally the dumbest motherfucker I've ever fucking had to chat with online. I don't even waste my time with people like you.
The ability to log off at any moment.
All right, Mike, and you know what? ODD, if you want to check out, see ya. See, Mike, and here is a video of the flat Earth. Okay, that's it. A non-fisheye lens, and there it is. So you can't debunk it. The Earth. Why do you believe you live on a spinning ball?
Because I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
So why are we having this discussion, Mike?
Yeah,
you don't care. I care. I think I've had enough. Also, Tim.
Yeah.
Thanks for moderating, Mike.
That's fair.
Peace out. See you
All right.
guys.
See you guys.